Today, we are going to explore why you don't need financial advisors and how trusting your gut is the ultimate strategy for spending wildly. Ready to embrace financial freedom? Let's dive in. First off, who needs a financial advisor telling you how to spend your money? You worked hard for it, so you should get to enjoy every last penny. Those so-called experts just want you to save and invest wisely. How boring. They say save for the future, but why live like a pauper today for the chance to live comfortably decades from now? Trust your instincts and splurge on whatever catches your fancy. Fancy dinners, designer clothes, spontaneous weekend getaways. It's your money after all, and only you know how to spend it best. Live in the moment and treat yourself every chance you get. Let's talk about budgeting. Advisors love to preach about sticking to a budget, but where's the fun in that? Instead, follow your heart and buy whatever makes you happy. New TV? Go for it. Latest smartphone? Absolutely. Budgeting is just a way to restrict your freedom and limit your joy. Forget about tracking expenses or limiting your spending. Your gut knows best, and it says spend, spend, spend. Next up, savings accounts. Financial advisors will tell you to set aside money for emergencies. But honestly, what's the worst that could happen? Live in the moment and spend like there's no tomorrow. Why save for a rainy day when you can enjoy the sunshine now? Imagine how much fun you can have if you spend your entire paycheck on things you love. Your future self will figure it out, somehow. Who cares about an emergency fund when you can have immediate gratification? Plus, emergencies might never happen, so why waste money preparing for something that may never come? Investments? Pfft. Why waste time researching stocks or bonds? If you're going to invest, just throw darts at a stock list and see what sticks. Or better yet, put all your money in that hot new cryptocurrency your barber mentioned. Instant millionaire, right? Who needs diversification or risk assessment when you have gut instincts? Advisors will bore you with terms like diversification and risk management, but where's the thrill in that? Go all in on the next big thing you hear about and hope for the best. Fortune favors the bold. And let's not forget about retirement planning. Advisors harp on about starting early and contributing regularly to your retirement fund. But retirement is decades away. Spend your money now on experiences and luxuries. Who needs a nest egg when you have a social media feed full of envy-inducing photos? Life is short, and you should make the most of it while you're young and vibrant. You can always work forever if you have to. The memories of lavish vacations and extravagant purchases are worth far more than any retirement fund. Debt management is another favorite topic for advisors. They'll tell you to pay off high-interest debt first and avoid unnecessary loans. But come on, life's too short to worry about debt. Just make minimum payments and keep applying for new credit cards. The higher the limit, the better. Debt is just another word for opportunity. Use it to fund your dreams and desires without a second thought. The thrill of buying now and paying later is unmatched, and who knows, you might hit the jackpot someday and wipe all your debts clean. Insurance? Totally overrated. Advisors will try to convince you to get life, health, home, and auto insurance. But why waste money on premiums when you can spend it on things you actually enjoy? Besides, nothing bad will happen to you. You're invincible. Insurance is just a conspiracy to part you from your hard-earned cash. Live fearlessly and embrace the idea that nothing bad will ever happen. If it does, well, that's a problem for future you to handle. Financial advisors are always going on about the importance of estate planning, but let's be real. That's just morbid. Live life to the fullest and let your heirs sort out the mess. They'll understand and appreciate the wild ride you had. Worrying about wills and inheritance is such a downer when you could be living it up instead. Why plan for what happens after you're gone? Focus on making the most of every moment you have, and let the chips fall where they may when the time comes. Advisors also love to talk about the importance of building an emergency fund. But why bother with that? Emergencies are rare, and you're too busy enjoying life to set money aside for hypothetical scenarios. If something unexpected happens, you can always figure it out then. Living on the edge is much more exciting than planning for the worst. Besides, isn't life more thrilling when you don't know what's around the corner? Financial advisors also recommend diversifying your income streams. They say you should have multiple sources of income to protect against job loss or economic downturns. But why complicate your life? Stick with your main job and enjoy the simplicity. Side hustles and second jobs just take away from your leisure time. One income stream is enough for a carefree lifestyle. After all, who wants to spend their evenings and weekends working when you could be relaxing and enjoying life? Keep it simple and focus on what truly makes you happy. Why settle for practicality when you can have luxury? Buy the sports car instead of the reliable sedan, or choose the penthouse over a modest apartment. Big, flashy purchases make you feel like $1,000,000, even if they leave your bank account in the red. Financial advisors will caution you to live within your means, but they just don't understand the thrill of living large. Why blend in with the crowd when you can stand out with the most extravagant purchases? Forget the reliable sedan that gets good gas mileage and has low maintenance costs. What you need is that shiny sports car that turns heads and screams success at every traffic light. Sure, it might guzzle gas and require expensive upkeep, but think of the admiration and envy you'll receive. And who wants a modest apartment in a nice neighborhood when you could be living in a swanky penthouse downtown? The breathtaking view, the status, the parties you could host, it's all worth the price tag. Financial advisors might drone on about the importance of living within your means and avoiding lifestyle inflation, but where's the fun in that? They just don't get the sheer exhilaration of making grand, bold purchases that reflect your unique style and ambition. Besides, you only live once, so why not live it up with the most luxurious options available? Practicality is overrated when you can have opulence and extravagance at your fingertips. Let's be real, you can't be caught dead with last year's technology. The moment a new smartphone, smartwatch, or laptop is announced, you should be first in line to get it. Who cares if your current phone still works perfectly and has all the apps you need? The new model has a slightly better camera and a handful of features you'll probably never use. But think of the status it brings. Financial advisors will drone on about the value of using your devices until they're no longer functional. But what do they know about the social capital of having the latest tech? Every time you pull out your brand new gadget, you're not just using a device, you're making a statement. You're saying, I'm ahead of the curve, and I have the means to stay there. So go ahead, splurge on that upgrade. Your friends will be impressed, and you'll feel a sense of satisfaction every time you show off your cutting-edge tech. Why settle for anything less than the best? Generic or store brands might be cheaper, but they lack the prestige and quality of well-known brands. Whether it's clothing, electronics, or even groceries, make sure you always go for the top-tier options. Wearing designer clothes not only boosts your confidence, but also earns you respect and admiration. When you pull out a brand-name snack or drink, people know you have discerning taste. Financial advisors might argue that you can save a lot by opting for generic brands that offer the same functionality, but they just don't get the importance of brand recognition. Owning and flaunting premium brands isn't just about the product itself, it's about the lifestyle and statement it represents. You're telling the world you have high standards and won't settle for less. So ignore the advisors and live your life adorned in the best brands money can buy. Let's face it, cooking at home is overrated. The real joy of life comes from dining out at the finest restaurants where gourmet meals are prepared by top chefs and served in an exquisite atmosphere. Why bother with the hassle of grocery shopping, cooking, and cleaning when you can have a culinary experience that delights all your senses? Yes, it's expensive, but the ambiance, the impeccable service, and the chance to dress up and go out are worth every penny. Financial advisors will tell you to cut back on dining out and save money by cooking at home, but they clearly don't understand the pure enjoyment and prestige of frequenting high-end eateries. Every meal becomes an event, an opportunity to indulge in luxury and sophistication. You deserve to live like royalty, savoring each meal as a memorable experience. So, throw out those takeout menus and make reservations at the best restaurants in town. After all, life is meant to be savored, one luxurious meal at a time. Financial advisors will also suggest you cut back on non-essential expenses. But where's the joy in that? Life is about enjoying the finer things, not depriving yourself. Go ahead, buy that designer handbag, dine at that 5-star restaurant, and take that luxury vacation. YOLO, right? You can always worry about the bills later. Deprivation is for the unimaginative. You have one life to live, so why not make it as lavish and enjoyable as possible? As you can see, folks, financial advisors are totally overrated. Trust your gut, spend wildly, and enjoy every moment. If you like this contradictory take on personal finance, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow financial free spirits. And just to be clear, folks, everything we're saying here is purely satirical. Following this advice is a surefire way to financial ruin, so please do the exact opposite.